All right. good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where in the country you're joining us from. Coach Kevin Sparks here, and we are going to go ahead and get started. First thing I'd like to do is share my screen with you, and let me go ahead and do that. A couple things that are relevant to what we're doing that I think will be helpful for everybody. Um, Hold on here. All right. Share my screen. Let's see here. All right, that works. Okay, so first thing I want to share with you is that we have a Facebook group that coincides with this meetup. It actually has the same name, which is Live Law of Attraction, Money, Wealth, and Success Training. So it's the same name as the meetup. So if you want to find us, just type in the name of the meetup into the Facebook search and you can find us. The other way that you can go ahead and find us is go ahead and go directly to facebook.com/groups/money manifesting coach as one word. And what I'm going to do here really quick is just copy that. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and go into chat for a second and see if I can get that link posted in there for you. There you go. So there is the link to the Facebook group. I recommend that you come join us. Why would you want to come join us? Well, a few different reasons. Number one, as we have these different meetings, we're going to go ahead and record them as long as I remember to do so, which I typically do. And within about 24 to 48 hours of each meeting, we will go ahead and have the recordings of the meetings posted into the Facebook group. So let's say, for instance, you're here today and you like something that is said. Well, if you want to go back and review it, just know within 24, 48 hours, if you're a member of the Facebook group, you'll be able to go in there and find it and review it. The other thing, let's say you're here with us, today's Monday, and you're here with us Tuesday potentially, maybe Wednesday, you can't make it, but you want to be with us, so you're here Thursday and Friday. Well, some days we're going to go through material and training that will be kind of self-sustaining in and of itself, meaning it's just something we're doing that particular day. Sometimes we'll be going through something that maybe takes a few days. So if you happen to miss a day or miss a day or two and you want to get caught up with us, you can always get caught up because I'm always going to share with you the actual material to go through. But you might want to get caught up again by potentially watching the recording. And that way you can see whatever happened in the group. Because not only are we going to be sharing material, but we're going to typically allow for about 10 to 15 minutes at the end of what we're doing to go ahead and have questions and answers for you guys. So it's your opportunity to share whatever it is that you like to share and to ask whatever questions that you would like to ask. And we'll do that when the time is appropriate each day. All right. Next thing I want to share with you is what we are going to start out with. We're going to start out this particular group as we get going. So today is our first day. We're going to go along for a few months. What I want to share with you is we're going to go through some material in a book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Now, this book was written, it was published in 1910. So it's an old book. It's a public domain book. And I have it in paperback. I have it on Kindle. I have it on audio. However, when I find material, if I'm going to share it with you, if possible, I'm going to try and find a free source for you to go get it. So what I did is I just looked it up. So I'm going to show you where I got it so you can go get it yourself. Okay. What I did, let me just go backwards from what I did. And by the way, if you guys are typing into chat, I know I just typed something into chat. While I'm going through this process, I'm not going to be able to chat as much with you. Right now, there's 13 of us on here. And if I took time to chat with every single one of you, we wouldn't get through some of the material. So what I am purposely doing, like I said, is leave 10 to 15 minutes at the end to answer any questions you might have and to let you share whatever it is that you want to share. Okay. So that we have that interactive portion of what we're doing. But all I did is I typed in The Science of Getting Rich PDF. I typed that right into Google I looked at a few, but the one I chose is this one right here, because I recognized it and I know whose website it is too. I found it right here where it says Free Science of Getting Rich, The Secret, and it's coming from the website thesecret.tv. Well, that website belongs to Rhonda Byrne. So if you've read the book or The Secret or watched the movie The Secret, maybe on Netflix or something, maybe you found it somewhere else. Anyhow, if you're familiar with those, Rhonda Byrne gives away the Science of Getting Rich for free. So all I did is I went ahead and clicked on this. I didn't have to type in any special information. And up came the book. So you guys can go do exactly the same. And then I just went and used my download button and downloaded it onto my computer. So I wanted to show you how to find it. So there's how you can find it and get a copy for yourself for free. And if you've heard of the movie or the book, The Secret, pretty powerful stuff, good stuff related to the law of attraction and helping us manifest more money and wealth in our life. I will tell you that Rhonda Byrne wrote a foreword to the book, and we're actually going to go through that foreword. But why am I choosing this as a starting point for us? First of all, because it had a big impact on me, not strictly the book. I have to go back many years for this, but for a long time, I'm 52 years old. And back in 2006, early 2006, I was introduced to the Science of Getting Rich. It was actually a seminar taught by a gal by the name of Leslie Householder, who at the time was a coach and a facilitator for a gentleman by the name of Bob Proctor. If you know who Bob Proctor is, terrific. If you don't know, if you see the movie The Secret or read the book The Secret, he's highlighted very heavily in both of those works. And he's also written a book himself called You Were Born Rich. But anyhow, Bob Proctor had put together a Science of Getting Rich seminar, had trained other people, Leslie being one of those, to coach for him. And I happened to go through that seminar and workshop again back in early 2006. It's actually February of 2006. As a result of that, plus being given a self-study program to work on for the next few months after the seminar, piling those things together and some other things that I did, I went from having an income at a job of $5,000 to $6,000 a month, which, it was okay. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I was satisfied with. But I had kind of a quantum leap, and literally, so we're talking February, March, April, May. By April 1st, I was able to quit my job. And if you take April through December of the rest of the year, in that period of time, I earned around $400,000 in income. So that averaged out to about 50 grand a month. Not that every month was 50, 50, 50. It's not how it worked. I had one month that was 88,000, one that was 30 something thousand. But if I took the rest of my year, essentially, so I had January, February, March, where I was making that 5,000 to 6,000, and I had been for the previous couple of years, that was about average, and nearly multiplied my income by 10 to where I averaged $50,000 a month over the period of the next 8 months. That was a huge leap for me. It wasn't just the seminar, it wasn't just this book, but it was a reprogramming process also of my subconscious mind collectively with these materials that allowed me to have the quantum leap that I enjoyed. So I'm starting with this material because it is definitely something foundational for you if you will apply it, okay? And it definitely had an impact for me. It had an impact for Leslie. And since then, obviously a lot of time has passed, but I got contacted by Bob Proctor's organization a couple years ago. And they asked me if I wanted to be a coach and trainer for their programs. They heard that I had utilized some of the things they taught many years ago and that I'd already been helping people as a business consultant, but throughout the challenge for me to share what I've learned. So I got training to be a coach and facilitator myself a couple of years ago and dedicated the rest of my life to doing that. So that's my profession now, is helping coach other people so they can have breakthroughs similar to what I have into what I've helped other people do over the past many years. It's not just I started the last couple of years helping people out, but to where I made it my actual profession and mission in life to do the same. Figured it's time to pay it forward. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Rhonda Byrne, why is the science of getting rich important to her? Well, to learn a little bit about her particular story, Rhonda Byrne was given the book, The Science of Getting Rich, by her daughter when she was going through a very tough time. And Rhonda Byrne read the book. It highlighted so many things for her.
Thanks, mate.
Started doing more study and whatnot.
This guy's like,
Hey, Travis, can you go on mute for us, please? Thank you. Thank you, Travis. So anyhow, getting back, she was given it by her daughter. This book had such an impact on her that she started studying more about the law of attraction. Her life changed dramatically. And that is why she actually chose to create the movie first, the movie, The Secret, and then transcribe that into the book, The Secret, which has been a runaway success and one of the books out there that has made more people on the planet aware of the law of attraction than probably any other individual work that's been created. I know there's a lot of people that train and help and teach on this information, but Rhonda Byrne has definitely had a huge impact. So she's got hold of this book and she offers it for free. I just told you how to get it, but I want to read to you what Rhonda Byrne, and she wrote this a long time ago, okay, this particular note back when she was first getting started with this. But let me read it to you so you know what impact it had for her. A note from Rhonda Byrne, creator and executive producer of The Secret. Less than 2 years ago, at a time in my life when I was facing challenges from every direction, business, relationships, family, you name it, I stumbled across this book. Or to be more accurate, it stumbled across me. I can honestly say that since the first night when a tattered printed manuscript found its way to me, thanks to one of my daughters, my life has never been the same. Once you read it yourself, you will understand why. And why was the question I had been asking myself. Why are there people who seem to attract unlimited wealth into their lives, while others, equally as capable or talented or worthy, suffer from poverty and lack? As you'll discover when you work your way through this wonderful little book, it has nothing to do with education, status, talent, environment, intellectual ability, physical prowess, or geography. Wallace Wattles explains in simple, straightforward language how anyone, regardless of their background or circumstances, can attract wealth into their lives. The opening sentence of chapter 1 of this timeless little masterpiece says it all. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. And once I'd read it and internalized its simple knowledge, my own life immediately turned around. My television production business started to go from strength to strength. My income level soared prodigiously. Relationships miraculously healed, and marvelous new ones came pouring in from all directions. This is a common experience for people who discover this miracle book, and it will for you too once you learn and apply its down-to-earth, uncomplicated precepts. This book is the key to the prosperity you have longed for. It will change your life. Be aware as you read it that it was written almost 100 years ago. Some of the language is a little dated or quaint, and you'll need to come to it with an open mind and heart. Remember, though, you're about to discover an exciting new reality. You're about to learn the fundamental principles of wealth creation and life success. Stay with it. As Wallace himself says, trust and believe. Whatever you want in life is right there waiting for you. With this book, it is right in your hands. Enjoy, Rhonda Byrne. So let's go ahead and hop into this book right here. Let me go ahead and with the preface right now and share that with you. And then if there's any commentary that I think that would be helpful, I'll share that with you too. This book is pragmatical, not philosophical, a practical manual, not a treatise upon theories. It is intended for the men and women whose most pressing need is for money, who wish to get rich first and philosophize afterward. It is for those who have, so far, found neither the time, the means, nor the opportunity to go deeply into the study of metaphysics, but who want results and who are willing to take the conclusions of science as a basis for action, without going into all the processes by which those conclusions were reached. It is expected that the reader will take the fundamental statements upon faith, just as he would take statements concerning a law of electrical action if they were promulgated by a Marconi or an Edison, and taking the statements upon faith, that he will prove their truth by acting upon them without fear or hesitation. Every man or woman who does this will certainly get rich, for the science herein applied is an exact science, and failure is impossible. For the benefit, however, of those who wish to investigate philosophical theories and so secure a logical basis for faith, I will here cite certain authorities. The monistic theory of the universe, the theory that one is all and all is one, that one substance manifests itself as the seeming many elements of the material world, is of Hindu origin and has been gradually winning its way into the thought of the Western world for 200 years. It is the foundation of all the Oriental philosophies, those of, and by the way, if I pronounce something wrong, I apologize, Descartes, Spinoza, Leibniz, Schopenhauer, Hegel, and Emerson. The reader who would dig to the philosophical foundations of this is advised to read Hegel and Emerson for himself. Get a quick sip of water here. In writing this book, I've sacrificed all other considerations to plainness and simplicity of style, so that all might understand the plan of action laid down herein was deduced from the conclusions of philosophy. It has been thoroughly tested and bears the supreme test of practical experiment. It works. If you wish to know how the conclusions were arrived at, read the writings of the authors mentioned above. And if you wish to reap the fruits of their philosophies in actual practice, read this book and do exactly what it tells you to do. Okay. So I know this is our first day together, and several of you jumped on here a little bit later than when we originally got started. So I'm going to do something very quickly because I know a lot of you missed it, and explain also because I see people typing into chat right now. First of all, as I'm going through this, thank you. There's people talking to each other, helping out. Awesome. I'll get you the free URL in just a second here, and here it is. Actually, the URL for the Science of Getting Rich, here's what I recommend you do. Type in Science of Getting Rich PDF, the very first off of Google thing that will show up in the search outside of ads or whatever. If you look at the top and it says thesecret.tv, that's the place to go. Just click it. This will pull up. All you have to do, you don't have to put in name, email, or anything. It'll come up, and then if you choose to, you go here and download it to your device. Okay. What I do want to type in really quick is a different URL. This is to our Facebook group. So what's going to happen is I'm recording these as long as I remember each day, and I typically will do that. I'm recording what we're going through so that you can go back and review it. So if you're a member of the Facebook group, that's where you can find it. Obviously, there's no charge or anything to join the Facebook group. So hopefully you take the URL I just typed in there and go ahead and join our Facebook group. That would be terrific because we will have the videos archived there. It's also another place where we can interact with each other. I did this previously towards the end of last year, early November. So we did it in November, December, January, February, and ran a group just like this one through 3.5 months or so, which it was awesome. We had about 15, 20 people just like today participating almost every day. And we had, I don't know, 70, 80 people that joined that group because not everybody was on every day, but a lot of quality information there. And that's a place where I'm going to be able to post additional content too. Let's say there's not a website I can take you to like Rhonda's to get something for free. If I'm using different material, I will just post it into the Facebook group if it's material you're not going to find on the web. Okay. But as far as chatting with me, I don't pay attention to chat. So I just want you to know that now, other than just for the moment, because I leave time at the end of what we're doing so that we can interact with each other. So you guys can ask questions and share whatever you want to share. And then that keeps things speeding along and going forward the way we'd like them to. So speaking of moving along, since we have the time to do so today, let's get into a little bit deeper into the science of getting rich right now. The right to be rich. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it's not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. Now, that very first sentence right there might challenge some of your belief systems, okay? You know, it's not possible to live a really complete, think of these words, okay? Complete or successful life unless one is rich. So you'd have to define what complete or successful means, right? Because we can always want to point to money is not what makes us happy. We'll have a discussion about that too at some point. But let's just take this as it is because Wallace Wattles is going to go into detail, okay? And he will give an explanation further on that I think will change what you're thinking about this. But at first glance, whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it's not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. Maybe you agree with that phrase, maybe you don't at this point. You might not agree with what he's going to say for the first 1, 2, or 3 chapters very much. Some of it you will, okay? Depends on who you are and what you are programmed to believe at a subconscious level at this point. And we're going to go deep into that type of information and training too, because if you've been struggling to attract and manifest more money and wealth in your life, you absolutely 100% have programming in your subconscious mind that's in opposition to that. So we got to figure out how to change that for you too. Okay. No man can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and to develop talent, he must have many things to use, and he cannot have these things unless he has money to buy them with. A man develops in mind, soul, and body by making use of things. And society is so organized that man must have money in order to become the possessor of things. Therefore, the basis of all advancement for man must be the science of getting rich. The object of all life is development, and everything that lives has an inalienable right to all the development it is capable of attaining. Man's right to life means his right to have the free and unrestricted use of all the things which may be necessary to his fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfoldment, or in other words, his right to be rich. In this book, I shall not speak of riches in a figurative way. To be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or contented with a little. No man ought to be satisfied with a little if he's capable of using and enjoying more. The purpose of nature is the advancement and unfoldment of life. And every man or woman, okay, remember when this was written, should have all that he or she can contribute, all that can contribute to the power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. To be content with less is sinful. Ooh, that might strike a chord too there. Again, stay with it, okay? And you'll see why. The man who owns all he wants for the living of all the life he is capable of living is rich. So here's a definition of who is rich. The man or woman who owns all he or she wants for the living of all the life he or she is capable of living is rich. And we'll go deep into that too. And no man who has not plenty of money can have all he wants and cannot develop all he's capable of developing. Everybody wants to be, do, or have more than what they want, right? Where they're at right now in their life. Every single person, regardless of the amount of money they have. Some people need more money in order to develop themselves. Some need more time, and some need more help, knowledge, training, and mentorship. But everybody on this planet alive has the desire to be, do, and or have more, okay? Life has advanced so far and become so complex that even the most ordinary man or woman requires a great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner that even approaches completeness. Every person naturally wants to become all that they are capable of becoming. This desire to realize innate possibilities is inherent in human nature. We cannot help wanting to be all that we can be. Success in life is to become what you want to be. You become what you want to be only by making use of things, and you can have the free use of things only as you become rich enough to buy them. To understand the science of getting rich is therefore the most essential of all knowledge. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get rich. The desire for riches is really the desire for a richer, fuller, and a more abundant life. And that desire is praiseworthy. Excuse me. The man who does not desire to live more abundantly is abnormal. And so the man who does not desire to have money enough to buy all he wants is abnormal. There are three motives for which we live. We live for the body. We live for the mind. We live for the soul. No one of these is better or holier than the other. All are alike desirable. And no one of the three, body, mind, or soul, can live fully if either of the others is cut short of full life and expression. It is not right or noble to live only for the soul and deny mind or body, and it is wrong to live for the intellect and deny body or soul. We are all acquainted with the loathsome consequences of living for the body and denying both mind and soul. And we can see that real life means the complete expression of all that man or woman can give forth through body, mind, and soul. Whatever he or she can say, no man or woman can be really happy or satisfied unless their body is living fully at every function, unless the same is true of their mind and their soul. Wherever there is unexpressed possibility or function not performed, there is unsatisfied desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression or function seeking performance. Man cannot live fully in body without good food, comfortable clothing, and warm shelter, and without freedom from excessive toil. Rest and recreation are also necessary to his physical life. He cannot live fully in mind without books and time to study them, without opportunity for travel and observation, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in mind, he must have intellectual recreations and surround himself with the objects of art and beauty he is capable of using and appreciating. To live fully in soul, man must have love, and love is denied expression by poverty. A man's highest happiness is found in the bestowal of benefits on those he or she loves. Love finds its most natural and spontaneous expression in giving. The man or woman who has nothing to give cannot fill their place as a husband or wife, or father or mother, as a citizen, or as a man or woman. It is the use of material things that the man finds full life for his body, develops his mind, and unfolds his soul. It is therefore of supreme importance to him that he should be rich. It is perfectly right that you should desire to be rich. If you're a normal man or woman, you cannot help doing so. It is perfectly right that you should give your best attention to the science of getting rich, for it is the noblest and most necessary of all studies. If you neglect this study, you are derelict in your duty to yourself, to God, and to humanity. For you can render to God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself. So again, let's go back to what would rich mean. If you don't have enough money to purchase the things you need to develop yourself, to develop who you are and become all that you're capable of becoming because of money, because of the lack of it, because you don't have the money, or maybe you have the money, but you don't have the time to utilize the money. If you have something blocking you from becoming what you can become, and there's the possibility, though, of learning how to change that, which is what I'm sharing with you here. If there's the possibility for you to learn how to change it, but you choose not to learn how to change it, that causes problems for you, okay? Because you have a slightly new awareness, but if you reject the opportunity to grow, that is not going to be helpful for you. So keep an open mind as we go through this, and I promise you that you will see an unfoldment happen and a new awareness come into your life It will make manifesting money and wealth into your life much easier. Okay. And that was the end of that chapter. So we're going to go ahead and stop right here for now. And I'm going to come off a screen share and get a drink of water here and join you guys. See who we have here. Hey, even have a couple people I recognize. Awesome. With the new group, but we still have some people that slipped in here today that have been with us before. So that's good. You must like what we're doing or you wouldn't be here. That being said, what I'd like to do right now is share with you guys and gals what we do at this point. Typically, what we're going to do is give you an opportunity to share whatever you'd like to share or ask whatever questions you'd like to ask. Now, what's appropriate? As far as sharing what you'd like to share, please share things in relationship to what it is that we just went through and studied, or as we go along, what we will have gone through in the past, okay? Also, any experiences you've had success with in manifesting what you truly want, utilizing the law of attraction, okay? That would be awesome. The other thing that you can go ahead and do is ask questions. So what's fair game? Well, questions around, again, whatever it is that we just studied, or as we go along, what we'll have studied in the past. Also, any question fair game in relationship to manifesting more money and wealth in your life. Those are fair game for this. So what I'd like to do here, actually, I want to do something a little different because I didn't know we were going to have anybody on here who I've met before. Somehow some people found out we were doing a new group. So they're with us, and I maybe take a chance here. So there are 3 people I recognize. There could be more. Rich, Mercedes, and Karen. Would you do me a favor, Rich, Mercedes, and Karen? Would you maybe explain why you're here? Because you've had the opportunity actually to spend time and go through something similar with me before, and you came back. So hopefully you enjoyed the process and what we've been doing. But Rich, if you can be brief, but just explain what it is, why you're here, and why you've chosen to come back after you've already had the chance to spend some time with us. So Rich, and then Mercedes, and then Karen, if you don't mind. You there, Rich? My big bear up there?
Hello, I'm Karen.
Hey, Karen, perfect. There you are.
I just want to say that I learned so much the first time, but I hadn't started from the beginning, and I felt like I needed to learn more, okay, and maybe learn about some of the things I hadn't heard because I didn't start in, I don't know, I think you started in October or November, and I didn't start till January or something, I'm not sure, but there are a lot of more things I want to learn about, but it was working for me a little bit, and I want to see how I can get better at it. And I like your approach, and I trust you.
Well, thank you, Karen. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
What you got?
I think it's just good just to continue to learn about this, to continue to study it. So I just want to learn as much as possible.
And you've actually become a group coaching student, haven't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How's that been working out for you?
Good. Like I said, I just want to learn as much as possible. So take this class, take the night class, take all of it.
Awesome. Awesome. Rich, you might be on silent. That's fine if you are. I'll give you one more chance, or you ran away. That's okay. No, I still see the bear up, but you're on mute if you're trying to say anything. All right, that's fine. You don't have to. So anybody else that's here with us right now is free for you to go ahead and share what you'd like to share and or ask whatever questions you would like to ask. All you need to do, I know some of you are trying polite, raising hands and stuff. I don't use a lot of these extra things on here because then I'm taken away and distracted from whoever we're talking with. So I apologize. All you have to do is come off mute. If you're not on mute and you're not speaking, please go to mute. But if you would like to share something or ask a question, just come off mute, start doing so, and we'll take you in the order that you do it.
Hi, Kev.
Scott,
Kevin?
hi.
Hiya. Sorry, mate. So I'm Travis. Scott's my son. He's been playing with my phone.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay.
So just to ensure, my son's messaged something in the chat bit, and he sent it to people. And he was supposed to send it to someone else. So I do apologize.
Oh,
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but okay.
Yeah. It's called. Yeah. It's not bad. He sent a link but it's irrelevant. Okay. But no,
Okay.
it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. My name's Travis. This is really, really interesting. Thank you for doing this, Kevin. Okay, I just want to share a story with people. I think
Sure.
people will enjoy this. 10 years ago, in 2010, well, before that, I was working for a big organization, corporate company, blah, blah, blah. Paid well, very stressful though, had no life because all I did was work. It was a meaningless job. It was because I was just working for a corporate company. They were making all the money. Anyway, I had job security. Everything was okay, I suppose. But I never really felt that I was achieving anything. I just had job security. So I had the nice car, the nice little house and the wife and all this. But I wasn't really happy. I wasn't happy with what I had. Because I always knew there was more. But anyway, we went for a Christmas lunch, like an award ceremony in 2010. And it was in England, because that's where I'm from. And the roads were really icy. And there was weather warning saying that do not go out. And the cars and the vehicles were told not to go on the road, blah, 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 because of the ice. Long story short, I had to go to this event because I was expected to go there because of the directors of the company was there. So I ended up going. Lo and behold, we had a meal and drinks. It was quite a nice night. Come out of the restaurant and I went to order a taxi, but there was no taxis. I was like, oh, okay, where are all the taxis? There's no vehicles on the road because of the ice. So I'm like, for crying out loud, I'm gonna have to walk home. And I thought I only live maybe half an hour walk. I can do this. And as I'm walking, because it's so icy, I was so conscious of every step that I put in front of each other because it was ridiculously icy. I had to be conscious that I didn't fall and bang my head on the concrete. And as I was paying attention to my feet and where I was walking, what I wasn't paying attention to was what was around me. And suddenly something had come towards me really fast and knocked me over. And it was a vehicle, it was a van. Now, I didn't know that because all I knew is that I woke up 3 months later in a hospital and I was in a coma and all my legs were, well, one of my legs was crushed and I was in a coma and they rendered me basically dead, but I was breathing. But after I woke up, after 3 months, my perception of everything completely changed of what's possible and what's not possible. And it was really weird. But long story short, this is when it goes into the law of attraction, because I wouldn't have believed all that nonsense. Well, I thought it was nonsense until I experienced what I experienced. And from that, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but from that, literally, I saw the world in a completely different way. And that's, as people know it now, vibration or conscious awareness. And once you become more conscious aware, you step out of your own 5 sense reality. That's when you come to understand that you can literally do anything you want once you become consciously aware of it. So I got knocked unconscious for 3 months. And when I woke up, I was even more conscious. And long story short, after that, because my consciousness shift and the way I perceive the world, and I didn't know about this law of attraction, it's just my awareness shifted. I'd look at situations differently. And then this was, like I said, it was just 10 years ago. So I ended up leaving the company because I recognized that you can make more money by just thinking in a different way. So then I started to invest into property. And before you know it, you become successful. And then people would come up to me and they say, you've been reading that secret. I'm like, what secret? And then they explain it to me. But then I'd say, that's exactly how it works. But you don't ask the universe, you tune into your own vibrational frequency, which means tune into your own emotions. And if you can do that, you can do anything you want. And it's just such a beautiful concept, and it's so true. So I'll just say I appreciate everything that you're doing, Kevin, because this works.
Yeah.
This really, really works. And because I changed my physical mindset, I got told by the doctors I wouldn't walk again. But because I wouldn't accept what they were saying, I ended up walking again. And if you saw me now, I can walk, I can run, I can do anything. But because your perception changes, and when your perception changes of what's possible, your reality changes, and it's so true. Sorry, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm
No,
getting
it's
excited
awesome.
about it.
It's awesome, Scott, and I appreciate you taking time to share that, because, you know, who knows where everybody's at that's on here. Here's what I know about everybody that's on here today. You're on here because you're supposed to be, okay? That doesn't mean you believe everything that's being said necessarily. That doesn't mean you're going to come back tomorrow necessarily, okay? But God and the universe are sharing something with you, and you have the ability to accept or reject whatever that happens to be. And it gives you contrast. If this is something that doesn't, you know, vibe for you, then that's fine. However, if you're feeling like, hey, you know what, and I say feeling, the feeling, like Scott was talking about, the emotion, the feeling is more important right now than the logic of all this. The logic and the process and the tools necessary to put this all together and the flow of it's all available, okay? But the very first thing that needs to happen for the majority of us is that you're going to have to go through a process of deciding what you really want. And then if you're utilizing and following the laws of the universe and they aren't working out for you, you have a subconscious program that's in opposition to what you want. So that's how you figure out if you have something. If you ask for something and it's easy to receive, then that means you don't have a program that's in opposition. If you ask for something and you've been striving and trying and working all this and it hasn't come into your life yet, that means that you have a program that's in opposition to it. As long as you're obeying the laws. You also could be disobeying the laws without even knowing it. A little child, you know, an infant or toddler, can crawl up onto a chair and then crawl up onto the counter of in the kitchen, for instance, right onto the granite countertop. And with mom and dad and nobody else in the room, that child can go crawling across the countertop to the other side, and that child is going to eventually fall. Now, depending on how that child lands is going to determine how hurt that child becomes as a result of the fall. Doesn't matter that the child was unaware that crawling off the other side of the countertop was going to cause hurt and pain for the child. It's going to happen because of the law of gravity. The respect for the law of gravity was not respected by the child, but the child didn't know it wasn't respecting. It meant no disrespect. It wasn't trying to be obnoxious and fight against, you know, God and the universe. The child was just being a child, and with the limited awareness the child had, it hurt itself. I would propose that we've hurt ourselves many times throughout life because of a lack of awareness about how the laws of the universe work, particularly in governing the relationship to receiving more money and wealth in our life. So yes, please, everybody, you know, that's here today, choose, because it's going to be a choice, choose to come back. Choose to come back Monday through Friday. If you can't make it every day, I get it. That is, again, why we're recording it and then making those recordings available in the Facebook group, and also another way for us to interact. We are at the time that we typically are going to finish right now. I said it's 45 minutes. So I would say that the formal part of what we're doing right now, we're done. However, if any of you have any questions right now that you would like to ask, that you know, if you waited till tomorrow, it would bother you. So you want to get your question asked right now. I'll stick around for another 5, 10, 15 minutes to help you guys out right now. Only if there's questions coming through or stories like Scott that you want to share. If not, though, I just want to let you know that I'm not holding you guys as a group hostage. Whenever 45 minutes or so is done each day, the training part of what we're doing will typically be done. But sometimes I'll spend another 5 to 15 minutes after that till the top of the hour answering additional questions that's probably one of the reasons I know Mercedes and Karen and Rich have come back, because they're people who have answered questions in the past. And also all three of them have been through some type of, well, they've had the opportunity to hear me more than once. And a couple of them have even participated in some of the coaching that I've done outside of this. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to share, just like Scott, just come off mute and do so now.
I have a question in regarding how do you match the frequency or the vibrations of what you desire in life?
Okay, so here's what I like to do with most anybody. I don't like to be overly generic. I like to be actually more specific and personal, because then you'll leave here and do something with it and it'll be helpful to you. So give me an actual real, for instance, something that you have wanted to have manifest, but maybe it has not for you yet, or it seems like it's been a challenge for you.
Well, I'm a new real estate investor. I just finished reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, so I just started to get into real estate.
Okay.
So right now, what I'm looking to do is use a FHA loan to purchase my first rental property, and I'm gonna start house hacking. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm looking to wholesaling.
Okay. So I know quite a bit about what you're talking about. In years past, and I'm not here doing real estate investing training, but I've helped over 300 people become full-time real estate investors over the years. And I worked very closely with Robert Kiyosaki once upon a time. It was December of 2005 through May of 2006. I lived in the Phoenix area at the time, and I was actually a Rich Dad advisor. Not one that wrote books and things, but actually that helped them in a slightly different capacity, because my strength was community building. And I built a cash flow club, for lack of a better term, that at the time had about 800 members in the Phoenix area. And ultimately it grew into about 1,800 members. So anyhow, I understand Robert Kiyosaki very well. I know the inside workings, or at least what were the inside workings. Obviously things have evolved since then, but the message is predominantly the same. So you asked me a question, but what you really want to do, are you trying to find a property and put it under contract and keep it for your own rental portfolio? Or are you trying to find something to wholesale to somebody else? What are you trying to do?
Trying to find something to wholesale to sell to somebody else, or whatever just comes first, pretty much.
Okay. So I will tell you, here's where I would bring you guys to. Matter of fact, I think I'll share this tomorrow because it's short enough. You can look it up today. I might share it with us tomorrow, but you need to start by deciding what you want your lifestyle to be like more than anything else. Everybody wants to go out there and try and figure out how to make a buck or add to the bucks that they make. Very few people start at the very beginning. And so sometimes you end up building something that burns you out because you didn't create it intentionally. You created it by default. And I'm not saying you're doing what's normal. You're trying to improve yourself. You're trying to make more money. You're trying to create a business. However, without the clarity of what I would refer to as, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That's a quote by it's one of Bob Proctor's mentors, Earl Nightingale. That's Earl Nightingale. So you've got to decide what your worthy ideal is first to ultimately create the life that you want. There's a video out there that will help you get started. It'll help everybody get started if you haven't gotten started. It's one of the very first places to start. Some of you have done this, some of you have not. If you'll bear with me, we'll go into my screen share again. See if my computer will work fast enough for me to do this and make it worthwhile.
Kevin,
Yes.
hi, can I answer that question? Because I'm in real estate.
Yes, you may, Scott.
Yeah, sorry, it's Travis, my son Scott. He's got the name on there because he was playing on my phone.
You said it's Travis?
Real estate, yes.
Okay,
I'm
Travis.
gonna have to be quick though. Yeah, that's what I'm into, real estate. It's definitely the best thing to get into because everyone needs a home, don't they? But that's how I started because I was working for a corporate company and I thought, right, what's the best investment you can get into? And all business is buying and selling. So the biggest commodity you could have is real estate, property. So I thought I need to get into this. So, but you need money to buy property. So what you do, you come up with a business plan. Because I had a deposit, say I had about £40,000, which I say, which is about $60,000. So that was my life savings. I thought, okay, well, it's just sitting in the bank. I've got to put it somewhere because money makes money and it should never just sit there. So what I did, I thought, okay, I'm not going to save it for a rainy day. I'll put a deposit. It's a big deposit that for a property. So then I started looking at the market and think, right, okay. And you just got to look at the areas and think, are they doing lots of building work there? See schools, nearby schools, attractions. Is it an up and coming area? You've got to look at, you've got to try and research areas. Then, because this is what property developers do. They find a niche in the market. So really do your homework, find up and coming areas and then start buying as many properties as you can. What I did, the first mistake, I bought a property for 200,000 pound, which is about $300,000, I think. And I thought, okay, but that was a bad one because it didn't make that much. I sold it 5 years later, and maybe I net profited about 30 grand. But that lesson taught me, I thought, right, next time, because I had more money now, I went to the bank and said, right, can I borrow X amount of money? And I bought 5 properties that were really run down. And then ones, because I bought them at such a low price,
like our ancestors.
I generated.
Bring out the beauty of what.
Sorry about that, Scott. Go ahead.
Sorry, mate. Yeah. The
That's
thing
all right.
is, this is the thing, right? People think money is hard to make money. It's not. It's the most simplest way. Money is a game, and just don't. What I would suggest: so never ever work for a job. Don't do a job.
Two things.
Just employ yourself. You can do that. Make yourself an asset. But when I started buying property, it became addictive, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I speak to other people because I'm a property developer. I speak to other property developers who are in the infancy. They're a bit nervous, they're a bit shy. But then there's the other people who've been doing it for 20, 30 years. And they're multimillionaires, and they're really confident because they know the market, they're comfortable, they understand how it works. So to get into real estate, you have to buy something. It doesn't matter if it's small, but buy something, because once you buy a property, and you don't need the money because you can just go to the bank and say, can you borrow me the money? If you've got good credit, you'll do it. Just save a bit of a deposit, get a business plan, tell the bank what you want to do, say, oh, can you borrow me X amount of money? And then you've got to flip the house or the property as quick as you can. So buy it, do it up, see the potential in it, and then get rid of it, sell it. Then you've created your obviously your money, and just keep doing it. And it's a game. Before you know it, you've made $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. It's so easy. But then the tax man comes. But then you just pay an accountant and they deal with all your taxes. It really is that simple. Honestly.
Yeah, Scott, I'm just laughing. I'm in 100% agreement with you,
Thank you so much.
about real estate. What I will tell you, so everybody on here, here's what you need to listen to and why this is a great conversation Scott's having right now. However, there is one thing, because everybody's just a little bit different. Scott succeeded in real estate because of his programming at the time as he was going through it. And as his programming was in alignment with what he wanted, it worked out. Some people don't succeed outside of real estate, and people succeed within real estate. Most people who become very wealthy are going to need to probably put their money into real estate, regardless of how they earn it, for tax purposes. So, but what is the important part that most of you guys maybe don't have that Scott has right now? Scott came out of that, I'm going to call it, you were that sleeper coma or whatever you want to call it, Scott. You came out of that a changed person. Okay. You had a very strong emotional experience happen to you that rewrote some of your programming almost instantly. And then you became what we call an unconscious competent, meaning you were able to make things happen that you weren't having happen before. You didn't need to go read the book, The Secret. It was after coming across it where you go, that's what I do. And Bob Proctor talks about that's what happened to him, is he had a mentor and trainer help him learn a little bit. He studied Think and Grow Rich and some other things, and he became an unconscious competent, but he was having trouble as he was teaching other people, having trouble conveying that across to them so that they could do the same thing. So then he decided to study what was really going on and what happened and made that his life's purpose. That's another reason why I chose to go through some additional coaching and become a coach for Bob at some point, because I had a breakthrough. I had big success. I was able to help some people by sharing what I did, but most people weren't able to conceive of it or do it, not because they weren't capable, but because of their programming. So what I realized too is that the different ways to earn money, make money, manifest money are as numerable as the stars in the sky. There's channels from which God in the universe will deliver to you exactly what you want that we don't even know about yet. What I want to do right now, though, is share something that most of you probably haven't done. Now, if you got to go, you got to go. I'm not keeping you, but I want to share a quick video with you for those of you who decided to stick around. Because this part right here, if you will start here, okay, and do what is being asked of you right here, and start moving forward with other things that I'll share with you along the way, this is one of the very best ways to get started. And I actually encourage you to do it. I almost dare you to do it. Okay. Some people don't like being challenged and dared and whatnot. So, and I like to be a nice person, but I would pretty much dare you to do this and not have something good happen to you. Even those of us that have already had some success in our life. So I want to share this with you right now.
Kevin, before you start, can I share
Yeah.
something?
Yes, Andrew.
Yeah. So, like you was saying, it's crazy how, things interconnect with each other. Cause, like the other two guys were just saying, I'm in wholesaling and real estate myself. I have a business. I've been doing it for about 4 years now.
Awesome.
And it's just crazy because today I just happened to go on Meetup and I was looking for a different group and I ran across this group.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I seen it, it just, I don't know, I just had a feeling, it just piqued my interest. So I just looked into the group and I saw you guys was on the Zoom and I instantly jumped on it, because
That's awesome.
I've been studying, law of attraction, vibrations, things like that for like since last year till now, and I just been trying to, find my ultimate vibration, to kind of peak things. Cause, for me, it's been like more of up and down. It's been 1 minute I'm at a great peak and the next minute it's down, then it's back up, then it's back down. So I wanted to get into this group to kind of see, how exactly,
Gotcha.
can I peak my vibration and keep that moving forward and keep that momentum driving so I can succeed more in business and keep that success, consistently.
Absolutely. You're bumping up against what I would refer to as a financial thermostat. We all have them. And as we go on through the days, we'll explain more what that is and how to change it. But if you're having those types of ups and downs, you do. Every one of us has it, just at different levels in our programming. But you do have a financial thermostat, and if you want to change the temperature, you've got to change the thermostat's program to be at the temperature you want it to be. But that is something that goes on at a subconscious level. So let me go ahead and share this with you guys. And I recommend, again, take this challenge regardless of how successful you feel you currently are, and run with this.
Things that I want you to do. If you do these two things, it will transform your life. I'm a motivational speaker when I'm not doing this, but And the reason I do really well as a motivational speaker, because I know what I'm talking about. You know, you looking at somebody been at the bottom before. So I'm not like some rich dude whose mama and them had some money and gave me some money. Now I'm telling y'all how to get over. No, I'm gonna tell you how to get over because I've been under. I'm gonna tell you how to get up because I've been down. I'm gonna tell you how to finish because I got off to a bad start. Now I'm about to tell you two things. Now listen to me. What I'm about to tell you, this is for spiritual people only. If you're not a spiritual person, this ain't for you. If you don't believe in God, this ain't finna do nothing for you. But I didn't know you was coming, so I have no other version. This is only people who have a faith. You ain't got to be no like born again Christian or nothing like that. You got to know that God is God. If you understand that, I can help you from here. I'm gonna give you two things that can change your life. It's two scriptures that changed my entire life. It's very simple. The cold thing about what I'm finna tell you is anybody can do it. This is what I'm finna tell you. See, I'm not finna talk to you about no education because I ain't got one. I flunked out of school. I had a severe stuttering problem. I couldn't talk outside my house. I ain't do well in school ever. I ended up flunking out of school. I'm on my third marriage. I lost everything I've owned twice. I've been homeless and lived in a car for 3 years. I'm finna tell you what I know. This ain't no fancy rich boy answer, no theories, no, you ain't got to buy no program to do this. You ain't got to go sign up. I'm telling you right now, what I'm finna tell you, if you apply it right now, can change your existence. Because everybody I know want to be happy, everybody I know want to be successful. If you don't want them two things, there's something wrong with you anyway. So now here, there is a scripture that I'm gonna give you. It's a very small scripture, it's very short. I don't even know where it is in the Bible. Somebody probably know it if I say it, but I'm gonna give it to you. This scripture changed my life. You have not, cause you ask not. You have any idea how major those words are for you? You have not, cause you ask not. It's such a simple scripture. But it's in your Bible. It ain't just in rich people's Bible. It's in the same copy you got. You have not, cause you ask not. This is the truest statement you'll hear me say today. Cause it's true. Most people don't have the life of their dreams cause you don't ask God for the life of your dreams. You've been trying to figure it out and handle it yourself. Well, how that's working out for you? You know how hard that is to do, man? Because I did it. I did it for 30-some years. I tried to figure it out myself. Man, the simple scripture says, you have not cause you ask not. If you up your ask, he automatically ups his give. You his child. God created you. He made you. You ain't just here by no accident. You ain't here because of your mama and daddy. Where your mom and daddy come from? Somebody started this whole thing. God created you. He gave you these little simple things you could do. You have not cause you ask not. Second reason people don't have what they want, and I'm gonna be through with you. They don't have it written down. This is a very, very important piece to success. It's a principle of success. Every wealthy person knows this. I don't know nobody wealthy don't have a vision board. I don't know nobody wealthy don't have their stuff written on a piece of paper. I don't know nobody. I know a lot of people doing good. We have discussed it at great lengths. They've showed me some of their vision boards that I had to go back and change mine. I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. But you gotta have a vision board, it's gotta be written down. You know why? Because that's a scripture too. Habakkuk 2:2. Go, I know where this one at. Habakkuk 2:2. Go home and read that one. It says, write the vision and make it plain so that he who reads it will run to it. And even though it tarry, that means take a long time, wait for it. For surely it will come at an appointed time. Man, I'm telling you real now. What I'm telling you works. This ain't no magic trick. If you up your ass and you write everything you want from God on a piece of paper, now here's the exercise I want you to do. This gonna trip you out. Write everything you want from God on a piece of paper. Be as detailed as you can. Write it down. The object for you is to write down 300 things, because I know 300 things that you could use. It's gonna be hard for you. When you get to number 75, you're gonna get stuck because your mind isn't conditioned to think way out there. So you're gonna try to stay in your little list. But I want you to just open up your imagination. If you could have anything you wanted, put it on a piece of paper. Anything. How many cars? What kind of car? What color? Where you want your next house to be? Do you want a summer home? Where you want to travel to? How much you want in the bank? How much would you like to have to retire? What you want to leave for your grandkids? How much would you like to give all your siblings? Would you like to one day walk in there and just give all your family a check? Put everything you want on a piece of paper. Do not stop until you have 300 things. It's gonna take you a while. I'm telling you, when you get to 75, your brain gonna lock up. But keep writing it down. But every morning, read your list. I don't want you watching TV at night. I want you to read your list, unless it's Family Feud. Other than that, I just... No, but seriously, take 5 minutes and read your list every night, every morning. 1 year from today, wait 1 year from today, and take a pen out and go down on your list and check off anything that has happened for you that's on that list. Listen to me. If you do that in faith, if you read your list with the expectation that God is going to do some great things for you, at the end of 1 year, you will be stunned, absolutely stunned at how much stuff comes off that list. I promise you, at least 30 things will be off that list. At minimum, 10% of your list will come true. You know how I know? Because I know a lot of people that done it. But you know how I really know? Because I did it. When I open up my phone, I wish I had it. My phone is my vision board. My phone ain't got a picture of no damn dog on it, no sunset, none of that. All of my computers have my vision board on it. Every iPad, tablet I got, laptop, when I pull it, I have my vision board on it. Because that's the signal I'm sending to God that I believe this is what you're going to do for me. I take stuff, I got to get a new vision board now because there's a lot of stuff off that vision board that I put on there a year ago or 2 years ago that then came true. I'm telling you, y'all, this how this works. You have not because you ask not, and write the vision and make it plain. You do them two things starting today. Write your list, read it every morning, every night. 1 year, check it off, you'll be stunned. I dare you to try that. Watch and see what God do. God keep all his promises. I'm just telling you, thank y'all.
Yeah, I'm about to make a list of 300 right now.
Oh, good. Good. Let me share here. Okay, cool. Yep, most people have not done this. We've lived however long we've lived, but have not gotten around to doing this yet. So here's what I'd like to say to everybody. I appreciate you being here with us today. I'll be here Monday through Friday for you, same time, same place. Use the same link you used to get on here. Now that you've registered, you don't have to keep doing that. And I really do hope that you come back. I hope you join the Facebook group so you can look at the recordings as they come out. And I appreciate you guys taking enough time to, Andrew, tough market call. Let's go over some stuff. Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to let you guys go for today, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you tomorrow and the rest of the week. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. I will definitely be here tomorrow.
The Facebook link, I'll share it one more time. Let's see here.
No, I said that.
Somebody wanted the link to the Facebook group. Let's see if I've got. There it is. Hopefully it went through or not. Actually, I want to share that with everybody. For everyone. There we go. All right. Go ahead and click on the link while you can, because once I close the meeting, the link won't be live. Thank you, guys.